Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each personal month forecast for the month of May 2023. And this will include the forecast for the full moon as well as the new moon. And that full moon that we have at the beginning of the month on the 5th is a full moon lunar eclipse. So it's a big one. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and you can get an idea for the services that I offer and what might align with your current needs. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, May 2023 is a 3 universal month. Okay, what that means is that basically collectively we're all going to sort of be feeling the energy of the 3. And what that could bring about is sort of more focused energy on communication, how we communicate, how we sort of share our stories, our words, right? The spoken word. We, of course, have a Mercury retrograde at the beginning of the month and through the mid-month. So, communication might be a little bit off. So where it's showing us that, where there might be some sort of glitches is sort of showing us where we might need some additional work, right? So in other words, the energy of the 3, if there's miscommunication, if there's a breakdown in communication, this energy is going to assist us in recognizing that and trying to do better, right? It's not always about how we feel we need to express ourselves, but also taking into consideration how that expression might land for others and what is more easily digestible and what isn't, right? And so if we want to get our message across, we have to take into consideration others and sort of how they receive that information, right? We don't have control over that, but we certainly have control over the intention behind our communication, our written, our spoken word. And, if that's coming from a place of vengeance or hatred or ugliness, right? Or the need to be right, that's going to land a lot differently than if it's coming from a place of an open heart and one of just genuineness, right? Like genuinely just trying to get your message across in a kind and compassionate way. So that can be coming into the forefront this month as well. This can also be a very social time. So you may see your social calendar light up this month collectively, right? Or we might collectively see that. You might see things sort of pick up, the pace pick up a bit. 3 energy is big energy. It wants to be seen and heard and experienced. So anywhere within your life where you might be making yourself small, you could see sort of this energy light that area up and ask you to step out into the spotlight a bit more, ask you to, again, express yourself in an authentic, beautiful way. That feels true for you, right? And so again, you might see the opportunities for collaboration, networking come into play. It's up to you whether you say yes to those invitations or not, but this is a great time to meet new people, meet new friends, significant others, or business partners, right? People who will help you to get your message across on a bigger platform. When we work together and work with others, we often, of course, there's greater energy behind whatever that is. And so that helps us to again, get that message out in a bigger, more expansive way. So big, big energy this month, the month of May collectively. Again, 3 energy wants to be seen, expressed, and experienced, right? So anywhere that you've been sort of making yourself small or trying to hide in the shadows, this energy is going to sort of push you outside your comfort zone a little bit so that you can be seen, so that you can share your gifts, so that you can sit, find your rightful place at the table, sit there and feel confident there, own that space. So 3 energy doesn't allow us or doesn't want us to minimize who we are. It wants us to express who we are and do that in a kind, compassionate way where we're not trying to take somebody else's spotlight away from them, because there's room on the stage for everyone. So beautiful, beautiful energy this month with that 3 energy. Again, it's what we do with it, but I love to see this. This is a very collaborative, coming together, working together, sharing ideas type of energy. And so when we can do that in a harmonious, sort of beautiful way, the rewards are great. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at each personal month and how these energies could be affecting you as we move through May. Personal month 4. So if you're in a personal month 4 for the month of May, you could see things sort of slow down a little bit for you. And the reason I say that is because 4 energy is sort of taskmaster type energy. It's going to ask you to check in with yourself, to check in with whatever it is that you're working on, to make sure that you're not overlooking the details, to make sure that whatever it is that you're investing your time and energy and resources into is something that, first of all, you actually want. And second of all, is something that you're building a strong foundation for. So it's not something you're just throwing together and hoping that it works type thing. It's going to come in and it's going to, again, just kind of slow the roll a little bit to say, is this what you want? And are you doing it in a way that's got integrity and is going to sort of stand the test of time, right? And so it's more checkpoint sort of energy, especially when it comes in as a quick cycle during a month, whatever, right? A month-long process. And so it's more of a checkpoint. You could see some additional sort of tests or challenges surface around whatever it is that you're, wherever this energy surfaces for you. But those tests and challenges, again, are saying, okay, are you moving towards something, with all of your energy and all of your might that your heart gave up on 6 months ago, right? That you're no longer invested in, but you're just doing it because you've sort of committed to whatever this is, but it no longer inspires you. It no longer brings you joy. You're just doing it for the fact of doing it, right? It's like, well, I've invested all this time into it. I don't want it anymore, but man, I've invested all this time, money, and energy into it, so I'm not giving up on it. You're probably going to face some tremendous tests around that. And that's the universe just saying, yeah, you don't even want this anymore. So why don't you invest your time and energy and resources into something that really lights you up, something that you have, that's heart-centered. So you could see that come up. The other things that this can kind of bring up, especially in a shorter cycle, are things around the body, like the home, right? So like the home of the soul. So you could see things come up, an illness, or maybe you need surgery this month or something like that. Or it could just be, again, something like the universe bringing your attention to something holistically with the body, mind, spirit, that just needs your attention, right? Where there's some kind of disconnect, and how can you get reconnected? So if there's any area in your life where you feel that you could be doing a little bit better or being a little bit more attentive when it comes to your own health and welfare, this month is going to help you to do that, right? To recognize where that is through, like, again, physical pain, or, like the little ailments or the physical sort of uncomfortableness that sometimes we get through the body. That's the body showing us, okay, there's something not in balance here. So what can we do to get it into balance, right? It might just be that we need to slow things down a little bit. Maybe we're pushing ourselves too hard. Maybe we're burning the candle, too much on both sides. And so again, it's just going to help you to bring things into balance and to be aware of where there's an issue. Now, when it comes to 4 energy, it's not something that you are being asked to overlook, right? It's something where it's like, again, pay attention to the details. If something comes into your awareness under a 4 cycle, it's absolutely asking you to clean it up, to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure that it's solid, in balance, that sort of thing. So if something does show up for you this month, just get it looked at, get it addressed. If you've been battling something emotionally, mentally, this is a great month to get assistance with that, whether through, therapy, professional assistance type thing. This is a great month for that. Also, it could bring up things around the actual physical house. And so you could see things like a leaky roof show up or something like that, or finances come up that need to be, that are forcing you to address something or look at something, right? Like maybe plumbing or something like that. So you might have to spend a little bit of money to get something taken care of, but hopefully getting it taken care of alleviates the problem and sort of solidifies that foundation, right? So again, 4 energy is just going to ask you to look at what's not working. How can you make it work? And how can you make it work in a way that again, has integrity behind it and will probably last for a while. So use this month as more of a checkpoint. Also, this energy will ask you to commit to something and commit to it for the long haul, as long as your heart's still in it. That's a key point with 4 energy. If your heart's not in it, then you're sort of wasting your time and everybody else's. So make sure your heart's in it, but it's going to keep coming back and asking you to recommit to it, right? And if your heart's in it. So whatever you commit to this month, whatever you initiate and start this month, just know that it could potentially take a while to come to fruition. There's no rush when it comes to 4 energy. It's very slow, meticulous, driven, and persistent, right? It's going to continue to go after what it wants as long as it still wants it. But there's no instant gratification with 4 energy. So just know that whatever you start this month could take some time to come to fruition, but the rewards are often in direct proportion to the effort put forth. So the rewards will come. They just might take a little bit of time. Now, for the month of May, of course, collectively, we're working with the 3 energy. And so if you didn't listen to the intro, make sure you listen to that. And the reason why I say that is because this full moon lunar eclipse that we have happening on the 5th of May, you all are working with 3 energy. So again, we have collectively the 3 energy, and now at this full moon, right at the beginning of the month, you're working with 3 energy. So everything I talked about in the intro is very significant for you all, because this full moon lunar eclipse, which again is going to put the pressure on something. It's going to really highlight something around this energy for you all. And it's starting the storyline of something around this energy for the next 3 to 6 months, or even the next year. So very, very significant. So for you all, this could be about communication, collaboration, working with others in some way, cleaning things up that aren't working and asking for assistance wherever you have limitations to make it work, right? And make it work in a way that will stand the test of time. Because remember, you all have this added energy of the 4, which is no shortcuts, right? We're going to do it right. And we're going to do it right the first time. And that's going to take time. So you have like this big energy of the 3 that's creative and explosive and wants to like express itself in a really big way. And then you have the more refined energy of the 4 that's like, yeah, we can do all that, but let's do it in a very sort of organized fashion. Let's make sure that whatever it is that we're creating is something that's going to be solid and have sound structure to it. So for you all, you might see people come in this month who can help you to achieve whatever it is that you're committing to, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You may have big creative insights come in for you this month that you really want to get started on and get going on. But this 4 energy is like, all right, we're going to slow it down. We just want to make sure that it's done right. So just know that you're working with this sort of slower energy of the 4 this month. So if you want to get, just be impulsive and go after something, you might notice that you hit some roadblocks or speed bumps, right? Just trying to like slow you down a bit to be like, yeah, we can get there, but let's get there in a really, let's get there in a way that makes sense, right? And sometimes that can be slower. So just pay attention to the people that come in for you this month, especially around this full moon. Because again, it can be that this full moon highlights for you where the limitations are so that you have a better idea of who it is that you need to call in, right? Or if you meet someone who has strengths in those areas, you can be like, this is why this person's coming into my awareness. Let me have a conversation with them. So that can absolutely come in around this time. But again, this full moon could bring up for you big creative ideas, opportunities to create something that feels really aligned for you. So you might feel those creative juices flowing at this time. So great energy if you're a writer, if you're in the arts in some way. Even if you're not, this can give you some really great ideas for expressing yourself in a very solid way, right? Or again, creating something that has the potential to build some kind of a legacy or leave something to future generations that can be very impactful. The power of the 4 and the 3, again, is like this massive creative creation type energy, merging with that of this 4 energy, the cycle that you're in, that says, I want to create this. And the 4 is like, yes, let's do it, but let's do it in a very solid way, a sustainable way. And so it's really actually a really beautiful energy. If you can get past the sort of the need for patience with it, because that's definitely going to come in. And a lot of times 3 energy doesn't have a lot of patience. It wants to create whatever this is and experience whatever this is. So it's just finding that happy balance. But definitely pay attention to the people that you meet this month, and the opportunities for collaboration or networking will be very key for you, especially around the full moon. Now, the new moon is occurring the 19th or the 20th, depending on where you live in the world. For you all, this is bringing in the energy of the 8 and the 9. Now, what's really beautiful about this is 8 energy is also manifesting energy, which is 4 energy, right? So 2, 4, and 8 energy are the manifesting triad. So they're creating something very physical, very solid, very tangible, right? So for you all around this new moon, new starts, new initiations, new ideas, inspirations, you have the energy of the 8 that you're working with, the 8 and the 9, and I'm going to get to the 9 in a second, but the 8 energy, again, business endeavors, creating something solid, big visions, moving towards those big visions. So that coupled with the energy of the 4, the 8 is the big vision, right? The 8 sees the vision and it wants to move towards it. And so it's the bigger picture type energy. And it has the momentum and the power to create that. The 4 energy is more focused on the details. So together these work beautifully, because the 4 is going to sort of, again, focus on the details to make sure that it's built in a solid way, and the 8 maintains the vision. So this is beautiful energy to initiate something potentially quite big in your life. This could also, translate to, because again, 8 energy is resources, finances, land, homes, like buying and selling a property type thing. But it can also be contracts. And so for you all with the 4 energy, it could be as simple as starting a family, right? Or starting a solid relationship, building a relationship. That's very possible. Now, but I would say there's something very much focused around like the business-minded leader, being the expert at something and moving towards building something very solid that will last the test of time. Now, the fact that the 9 is here, this can come in as closing something out or conclusions or the endings of something so that you can bring in this brand new energy. But the reason that I'm sort of gearing more towards this 9 energy, bringing in the need to allow things to come to you, is because it's around the new moon. And so again, with the 8 and the 9, I think that you will have opportunities to build something around that 8 energy. But I think that with the 9 being here, it's saying, don't force it, don't push it, don't sort of try too hard with it. Allow whatever this is to come to you. Allow it to present to you, because then you can, sort of detach a little bit emotionally, and you can see, does this work for me? Is this something that I want? Is this something I want to invest into? So with this 9 energy, what I'm really getting is there's something here where, yes, there's an opportunity for a new start, but it's something that's going to present to you. It's not something that you need to force or chase after or, think too much about. Let it come to you, right? So let this opportunity come to you. And it could be that you've already applied for something or you've already initiated something. That's great. Let it now come to you. I think that's going to be key around this new moon. So pay attention to what does come to you around this new moon and entertain it, explore it before you're too quick to say no to it, because it might feel bigger than what you expected or different than what you expected. Just be open to it. Okay, so I hope that it is a beautiful month for you all. Big energies that you're working with, but the potential to be very long standing if you want it to be. So take care, everyone. Bye for now.